नानक होसी भी सच वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी। हाहाकार है सिख करे, उठो पिराना शख्त ना जरै।
गुरु रूप गुरु प्यारी गुरु स्वारी गुरु Khalsa Sadh Sangat Ji. Let us all focus our minds on the divine Swarup of Tan Tan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj and join in Gur Fateh so Tan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj blesses us, their children. So whatever we hear that they bless us with within Katha, that finds a place in our heart and also becomes a guiding light for us. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So Guru Roop, Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji, last week we heard how Chandu had given the order to place Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj in the Degga, the cauldron of hot water. As Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj is walking towards the Degga, Maharaj ne Bhagt Kanna hoya from Lahore. Maharaj remembered him. And Das also shared for about half an hour why some pracharaks, or quite a few pracharaks, choose to leave Bhai Kanna out due to whatever reasons they present. And we heard how even though Kanna had become a Brahmagyani, he had not given up his Main Meri, the illusion of I am. And because of that, his Bani was Hankari too. He wanted to add his Bani to the Bani of Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, just as the other Bhakts had their Bani added. And Maharaj rejected him. Bhakt Kanna, Diyaida Pukha, he was hungry for greatness because a lot of people bowed down to him in Lahore. And because of this, to upkeep that greatness, because Guru Arjan Dev Ji just rejected his Bani, he gave a saraf. He goes, "Main saraf dinna." But Maharaj rebutted him straight away and said, "Bhai Kanne, Bhakt Kanne, so what if through Yoga Abhyas you've got the ability to see into the future? And you've seen how we have planned to abandon this body, to smash the pot of this body at the head of the Mughal Raj. So what? That doesn't mean with koi saraf here. But since now you've taken this action, it's about time your life ended too. You will not reach Lahore." And Bhakt Kanna did not reach Lahore. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, just on the outskirts of Lahore, he was thrown from his cart, and the cart then rolled over his head, smashing his skull, and then there was nowhere for his pran to reside and stay. We shared that in a decent depth. After that, we heard how Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj went and sat in the Degga, but before going into the Degga, Guru Arjan Dev Ji reminded Chandu, this is the Dayalta, the mercy of Satguru, that Chandu can never say, for as long as there is creation, nobody can ever say that Guru ne Chandu nu samjhaya nahi about the wrong he's about to do. So Maharaj explained to him, "Chandu, whatever you sow with this hand, you will reap with this hand, not this hand." Maharaj explained this to him. Maharaj explained to him, whatever you do is going to come before you in the end. What you are doing in anger. But he didn't listen. Rather than hearing the words of Guru Arjan Dev Ji and changing his life, he instead starts saying to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, oh, now that you're scared, this is how he perceived it, that now that you're scared, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ. So Maharaj said what they had to say. They went over to the Digga, the cauldron full of water with fire burning brightly underneath it, and Maharaj had lowered themselves into the Digga rather than the guards who had been instructed by Chandu to grab Maharaj by the arm and take them to the Digga. Maharaj lowered themselves. The nishani of the greatest Surbirta in the face of anything, Maharaj ne koi dar nahi dikhaya. How can Maharaj show dar? Maharaj removes the dar of the Gursikh, of anyone that starts to listen to their upadesh. So Maharaj aap the nirpau swaroop hai. Sikhਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ. ਤਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਭੈਤਾ ਧਾਰਨੀ ਸੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ. So Maharaj has gone into the Digga. That's where we left off. And that's exactly where we will pick up from. The Gursikhs that were in the Deodi, the 5 Gursikhs, Pai Prana, Pai Langaha, Pai Jetha, Pai Peda, Baba Bidhi Chandji Maharaj. You're probably wondering why I did Baba Bidhi Chandji, then I did Maharaj. Baba Bidhi Chandji is a general of Guruji's Faujan. Maharaj ne kya bhi Bidhi Chand China Guru ka Sina, Maharaj said mera swaroop hi hai. But do not think that any of the other 4 Gursikhs are any less. In the house of Guru Nanak, each Gursikh is excelling the other Gursikh. This is Guru's fensla, not my fensla. But Baba Bidhi Chand ji, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ, Das calls him Baba Bidhi Chand Sahib Ji Maharaj. So these 5 Sikhs, they're in the house of Chandu, in the Deodi. They can see Maharaj going to the Digga. And at once, even though they're tied up, they've struggled and come loose somewhat. And they've also started shouting and screaming. Bhai Sahib Ji, Bhai Prana Ji, Guru Ki Sangat Ji. He was not able to contain himself. The other 4 Gursikhs, in the house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, we must remember, kai hunde bhakti karan wale. There are some that are on the line of bhakti. There are some on the line of seva. There are some on the line of surbirta, of jang, of war. Not everyone is the same. So not everyone is the same. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, maaf karna ek minute. We're having problems with this mic. Hanji, so not everyone is the same. So Bhai Prana, he is a bit more of a, say, Jodha. Not that the other 4 are any less, but their understanding is different to Bhai Prana. Bhai Prana ji breaks loose from the ropes that he's been tied in with. And he runs towards Guru Sahib Ji. He ran towards Guru Sahib Ji so he can pull Guru Sahib Ji Maharaj out of the Digga. Chandu standing there watching him and he signals to the guards straight away. He tells the Spahis, he goes, get the sota, dang, and go towards him. So once he tells this to the spies get the dang, they run over to Bhai Prana and they start beating about him. Dhan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, as we heard last week, Maharaj remained quiet throughout the whole thing when Chandu was talking away. Maharaj nu koi parwah nahi si ki bol reha, ki nahi bol reha. But now when Maharaj sees their Gursikh being hit with the sota, Maharaj speak up. Maharaj says to Bhai Prana, don't come near us. Sade lage na tu aa. Then Maharaj tells Bhai Prana, don't come near us. Why? What is happening to our will, and we're doing this. Pare dusht jar khare need. Maharaj says that we're putting this dusht's roots in salt water. What that means, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, if you get any plant, most plants here on land, they're used to fresh water, right? Other than the sea, where they're used to salt water. Any land plants, if you put salt water or start feeding them salt water daily, they wither away and die rather quickly. So Maharaj says that his root, meaning his destiny, meaning his karam that has caused him to become such a famous and such a powerful figure in the Mughal Raj, those roots, khare pani chasi pa rahe hain, we're planting his roots in salt water. Just like a just like a plant put in salt water withers away and dies, so will Chandu's deeds that have given him this power, they will wither away and die as well.
ਹਮ ਤੋ ਤਜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਨ
Hey Bhai Prana, we're gonna give our pran. ਅਸੀਂ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ, we're gonna give our pran. Guru Ki Sangat ji, remember this. When Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj has said to Chandu, you can say whatever you want to say. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਚਨ ਹੈ, we will not go back on that. ਸਾਡਾ ਬਚਨ ਹੈ, we will never take your daughter's hand in marriage. For our Sahibzada, you do whatever you want to, we will not go back on that. The same is to the Gursikhs. Maharaj has already told the Gursikhs, we Gursikho, sada festa, we've already made our mind up that we're going to smash the pot of this body over the Mughal Raj's head and rid them of the deeds that are giving them so much power. Listen, Guru Ki Sangati, we do not know our own deeds, our own destiny. We do not know what we have done to deserve the Sangat of Tan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. We do not know that. So how can we know another person's deeds? But Satguru Ji is Antarjami, Satguru Ji is the Bidata, the writer of those deeds. Satguru Ji knows everything. And when Satguru Ji gives something, Maharaj is complete, they're Puran, they do not make mistakes. Once they've given something, they don't take it back. What that demonstrates is there was a mistake made. Once they've given something and the person who's received it is not worthy of it or has gone on the path of wrongdoing afterwards, then Maharaj finds a way to destroy that person. So Maharaj has already made it clear that we Sikho, we are going to do what we are going to do. Do not come near us and think that you can influence our thinking. This is Maharaj talking to their Gursikhs who are so close to them, meaning Maharaj Bachande Sureya. Whatever they say, they live by. And this is also the hukum to Gursikhs in the Bwanja hukum. Maharaj says, whatever bachan you give, ਪਹਿਲੋ ਦਿਓ ਨਾ, ਜੇ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ, make sure ਉਹਦੀ ਪਾਲਣਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ.
ਦੇਹੋ ਸਾਸ ਨਾ ਤੁਮ ਕੋਇਓ ਆਨ
Bhai Prana, why are you taking punishment? Why are you giving them the opportunity to beat you with a stick?
ਕਰੋ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਜੋਰ ਪਿਰਾਣਾ
Bhai Prana ji stopped coming towards Guruji. Again, if we just read this and move on, we don't pick up the small, tiny little things in there. What was Guruji's hukum? Don't come near us. Ikdam hukam manya, even though he couldn't control himself. He stopped where he is. He put his hands together.
ਤਖਤ ਦਿਖਾਵਨ ਹੇਤ ਬਖਾਨਾ
What he's basically saying, Maharaj, I won't come any nearer. But I want to have permission from you, Guruji Maharaj, to show Shakti. Guru Ki Sangat ji, look at this. Bhai Prana, who's got immense supernatural power. Kuch nahi dikhonda, doesn't show anything. He's asking Maharaj for permission. Where Bhagt Kanna, Hankari with the Gyan that he'd gotten of Brahm. He, Thodi ji Shakti aiya to look into the future. He looks into the future and to keep his vadiyai up in people. Kanda main sarap dinna. Maharaj is out of var and out of sarap. Nothing can affect Maharaj. But point being, Bhagata, Kanna, he's demonstrating that he has some power. Why? For Lokan di vadiyai. Bhai Prana ji, this is the same Bhai Prana Guru Ki Sangat ji that will turn into a lion and frighten the life out of Jahangir later on at the time of Tan Satguru Har Gobind Sahib Maharaj.
ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜੀ ਰਹੋ ਜਾਏ ਨਹਿ ਮੋਤੇ
And he's saying, Prabhuji, hey Guru Arjan Dev Ji Prabhu, I can't control myself.
ਬਰਾਬਰ ਕੋ ਏ ਤਿਕ ਦੁਖ ਹੋਤੇ
Whether I get beats, whether I get tied up, whether I get starved, but they can do whatever they want to me. But I can't see you. Hey Ravar, hey Paramatma, hey Guru Arjan Dev Ji, I can't see with my eyes and take what they're doing to you.
ਤੇਲੀ ਲਵਪੁਰ ਨਗਰ ਵਿਸਾਲੇ
And the power he wants to demonstrate, Guru Ki Sangat Ji. Sadh Sangat Ji, every time I say something over the last few weeks, what I've done so far, is I've tried to explain it just so what we hear, our experience so far, whether you're 20, 30, 40 years of age, even though our experience may not be to see things as such or have come across things as such, it does not mean these things do not exist. I don't know how many of you have been to New Zealand. I haven't been to New Zealand, but it exists. Just because I haven't been there, I haven't seen it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just like that, there is so much is beyond quantification that we haven't seen and we haven't experienced. There's so much that does not fit within the pot of the mind, and we get into disbelief. This is the house of Akal Purkh Vaheguru, Dhan Satguru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. There is nothing that is not possible here. That is the Shakti in the power of Satguru. So, Bhai Prana Ji, the Shakti he wants to show, he says, Delhi, Lavpur, Nagar, Bisale. He said, Maharaj, Delhi and Lavpur are the two places where the Mughals rule from. These Bisale, these great cities, let me pick them up with both my hands. He says, as someone claps their hands together, I'll put my hands together 2, 3 times and I'll destroy these cities while standing here. He said, I'll destroy them. Minnu koi bari nahi lagni. But, hey Satguru, I live in your agya, I live in your hukam, give me the go ahead. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, there's a city called, it's called Sodom in the Bible, and Gomorrah, 2 cities. At the time of either Noah or Abraham. These 2 cities where sin had spread like wildfire. There was so much sin going on in these cities. If you read what Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji done, Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji rained fire from the sky on these 2 cities and destroyed them like this. It didn't take time at all. Just like a nuclear bomb, it takes time to fall from the sky, but to destroy, it's in a flash. Bhai Sahib Ji, Bhai Prana, Bhai Sahib Ji is saying, Maharaj, it won't take me, it will take me no time at all to destroy both Delhi and Lavpur, meaning Lahore. And the reason being why, these are the 2 centers of the Mughal Raj. And it's these Mughals under whose Raj, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, Mera Sai, Mera Satguru is suffering. Bhai Sahib Ji is saying, we hear Maharaj. Deho Shaharat. What number are you? 43. This keeps on skipping. So Guru Ki Sangat Ji, what Bhai Sahib Ji is saying is, Maharaj, look, I'm your Gursikh. I'm asking for permission. Tusi bolo na kush. Minu ek ishara de do. Sharat means ishara. Just signal to me that you accept my benti and you give me permission. Satguru Ji Maharaj replies, Maharaj looks up Bhai Prana and Maharaj says, hey Prane, where have you got the Shakti from that you want to use to crush both Lahore and Delhi while standing in the house of Chandu? That you want to demonstrate this power from? Where have you got this power from? Bhai Prana Ji, Prem Dena says, Maharaj, listen to my benti. I have been in your seva, and doing your seva brings all this power. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, when we come to Guru Sahib and our mind is made up with Guru Maharaj, मैं तेरा सिख बनना ही बनना, whatever it takes, मैनू बना ले. And Guruji Maharaj gives us upadesh, instruction. What's the first instruction? The first instruction is Amrit Shako. मेरे नाल रिश्ता पाओ महाराज कहंदे ए मेरे नाल नाता है and we take Amrit and then we live by Prana's taken Amrit. They've taken something called Charn Paul. This was only changed at the time of Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj. It's exactly the same thing. When Maharaj gives this instruction and the Sikh listens, and then the Sikh obeys every hukam and upadesh of the Guruji, Guru Maharaj takes no time in giving that individual those things that we cannot even imagine. So Bhai Prana saying, Suno Guru, kar sev tumhari Maharaj by doing your seva. Peo kripa, you've been merciful on me, and because of this, te prakram pari, I've had this immense power invested into me.
Chandu dusht mud ka hai.
Bhai Prana say, Maharaj, this Chandu Murk, what is he? He's nothing.
Na sun turk naam nehar hai.
Him I'll destroy without even thinking of him. I will not only destroy Delhi and Lavpur, I'll make sure that the Turks, whose rule it is, they have nowhere to run. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇਗਾ. ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ, like I said, whenever I say something, I want to give it some sort of reflection. So we don't make the mistake while sitting in Guru Ji's Huzuri and says, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਣਾਈਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾਈਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ. In our hand, there is no power. In our hand, there is no power. In the Guru's hand, there is unlimited power. That power, when they give it to any Gursikh, that Gursikh can do exactly as they wish. Now, I say Gursikh, but the thing is this, Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, Das Sahban, Satguru Granth Sahib Ji, is Nirankar Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji themselves. When we read Mool Mantar, Mool means root. The Mantar, this is the Mantar into which every Shakti is rooted. So just because Guru Nanak Dev Ji came here and manifest themselves in the 16th century does not mean that this power started then. That power has been with Akal Purkh always. Akal Purkh Vaheguru has given that power many times throughout history. Here Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji is themselves in the fifth form of Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. In history, if you read about the story of, the history should I say, not the story, the history of Hazrat Musa, who is Moses. When Moses was getting the Pharaoh to do as he was saying, to release the Jews, and they were not releasing the Jews, he put a few curses on Egypt at that time, and one curse was at night time, all the firstborn in Egypt will die. And that's exactly what happened that night. Something came down from the sky. It was, whatever it was seen visibly. It was like in a cloud kind of shape, and it descended over all of Egypt. And what it did, it killed every single firstborn child, including the Pharaoh's child, in one night. This I share with you so we know that Vaheguru Ji Shakti, it's beyond limits, beyond any boundary. When Bhai Prana Ji is saying, I will destroy Delhi, Lavpur, and the Turks will be nowhere to be seen, Guru Ki Sangati, never think we gallaiyan. This is exactly what Bhai Prana has become capable of through the seva and the service of the Guru.
Jinke Raj Maha Anyay.
Bhai Prana Ji is saying, in whose Raj there is so much injustice. What injustice is he talking about? He said that someone as shant, nirvair, merciful, graceful as you is being treated like this. Injustice is happening against you.
Guru kaho jin ki kar seva.
Guru kaho jin ki kar seva. Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj then speaks with Acha Bhai Prane. The Guru whose seva you have done. It's your own words that you've done my seva. Tu Guru kar di, Guru Nanak Dev Ji di seva karke, tu ਇਹ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਲਈ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਭਾਈ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ. ਇਹ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਲਈ ਸ਼ਕਤ ਧਾਰਤ ਅਹੰਗ ਮੇਵ. Why have you gotten this Shakti and become so egotistical, so proudful?
ਤਿਨ ਮੋਹ ਸ਼ਕਤ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਹੀ
Whether you know the one who you served, the one who's given you this Shakti, do you think that that Guru has got no Shakti in himself?
ਤਿਨ ਜਾਣਤ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੀ
Tell me, Bhai Prana, what do you think in your heart? The one whose seva you've done, has he got no Shakti? If the one seva who you've done has given you this much Shakti, if the samundar, the sea, the ocean has given one drop to someone, do you think the ocean has run out of water? It's only given one drop. What Satguru is saying with tenu je kuch ditta, tu eh soch, think, do I not have any power in me?
ਜੇ ਜਾਣਤ ਤੂੰ ਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੋ
If you think that I haven't got any power, फिर तू जो मर्जी कर. Then you do whatever you want to. But if you think the one who you've served and as a result of gotten this power has got power in them, meaning if you think your guru is all powerful, then remain quiet.
ਬੈਠੇ ਪੇਖੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਕਹੋ
Remain quiet and better because sit and watch what we are doing, but don't say anything.
ਨਾਹੇ ਤੇ ਛੂ ਛੋ ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਹ
Like a parent teaching their child. Satguruji says, Nahe ta chucho hi re jai hai. Otherwise, I'll pull everything from you and then you'll be left dumbfounded.
ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਕਤ ਕੋ ਪੁਨ ਪੁੱਛਤਾ ਹੈ
And when I pull all this Shakti from you, hey Bhai Prana, then you'll regret it. Guru ki Sangat ji, Maharaj doesn't make mistakes. If Maharaj has given this Shakti to Bhai Prana, and despite this dialogue, Bhai Pranaji still demonstrates some power, then ਇੱਥੇ Maharaj ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਲਿਹਾਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ. There's going to be no favoritism. Maharaj will pull that power and not give it back. ਇੰਨਾ ਛੇਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿਰ Maharaj ਦਿੰਦੇ. ਫਿਰ then you wander through many lives doing seva of Guruji. ਫਿਰ ਕਿਤੇ Guru ਦਿਆਲੂ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ. Maharaj says then you will come to regret it, Bhai Prana.
ਹਮਨੇ ਇਮ ਹੀ ਕਾਰਨ ਕਰਨਾ
We have already decided this is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to sit here and let this fool Chandu do exactly as he wishes.
ਤੂੰ ਨਹਿ ਲਖੈ ਏਵ ਆਚਰਨਾ
You do not understand why I am doing what I am doing. Guru ki Sangati, how can our pot receive the ocean that is Satguru? Who can put all the waters of the world into one puja? We can't. We can never understand why Guruji is doing what they're doing. But Maharaj, even though Maharaj says you do not understand why we are doing what we are doing, however, later on, maybe next week or the week after, Maharaj will explain everything as to why they are doing what they are doing and why it's a must. But here Maharaj used the word acharna. Acharna is the high standard. The high standard is this. The high standard is this: when we go to Maharaj and say, Maharaj Sikh banala, Maharaj says, Pahla maran kabool, jeevan ki shad aas, ho saban ki ren ka, tao aao hamare paas. Let's listen to this. Pahla maran kabool. It's very easy to say, हाँ मैं मरनों तैयार हैं, but ਜਦੋਂ ਮਰਨ ਦਾ ਵੇਲਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, and the reality is there right before us, then the mind we have been a slave to all our lives turns into something unthinkable and causes us to fear death so much. Nobody wants to die. It's only those naam rasiye that look forward to dying, otherwise nobody wants to die. So Maharaj says, Pahla maran kabool, be prepared to die. Jeevan ki shad aas, give up all hope of living. Ho saban ki renka. The second thing we're going to find hard to do is ever become the dust on the feet of everyone else. Meaning, think of ourselves as low and think of everyone else as greater than us. Even people that come to the Gurdwara and do seva at the Gurdwara, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, you'd be shocked that some people do this purely for vadiyai, purely vi mera naam bane. Even people that Man, come on, do charitable work out there. Take the money element out of it. Tell someone to seva karne da tota saaf kar. Koi nahi karda, the toilet stink. But where there's a camera, where there's photo khechoniya, where there's people watching, ਉੱਥੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ. That's not every ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ. My sir is on the sevadars of this house, of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's house. I'm giving an example. Maharaj is here. हमने इम ही कारण करना सो हो सबन की रेण का. Maharaj says, then तो आओ हमारे पास. The person who has learned to do this, they'll learn to do one thing. What Maharaj means. And Maharaj means पाने दे विच रहना, हुक्म मनना. Maharaj, even though Maharaj says, हमने इम ही कारण करना. Satguru ji can say this to Bhai Prana. Okay, these five are Sire de Brahmagyani. But when Bhagat Kanna gave the Saraf, Maharaj didn't say, Asi Adai Karna. Maharaj says, Akal Purkh ne Adai Karna. Teaching the Gursikhs, whatever Akal Purkh, Vaheguru ji does, whatever the hukam is, whatever the upadesh is, Sir Mathe Manno. And when we Sir Mathe Mande Ana, the destiny that is written on this Sir Matha begins to be cut away at a greater rate than anything else. Pane which Amrit hai, Maharaj says, that to live in Pana is Amrit. So Maharaj says, Hamne imhi karan karna. Hanji. So Bhai Sahib, Bhai Prana ji, Param Bisurat, Besud ja ho gaya. In the sense ki he's run out of words. He doesn't know what to say. Tushan hova, he goes silent. He's put his head down, and he can't even look at Maharaj now. Why he can't look at Maharaj is Maharaj had said to him, you got the Shakti from us. तो हम तू जो भगत काना करदा सी ज्ञान लेके हंकारी है तू हंकार करदा अहंग में. You become proud of this, Hanji. Satguru Maharaj ji closes their nether and sits in this dega. Maharaj hasn't flinched once. Maharaj going to dega themselves. The only person who's flinching is Chandu. He's been set on more fire inside himself, thinking, dukh kyun nahi ho raha Guru Arjan Dev Ji? So what he says to the guards, put some more firewood in so it burns brighter. Aganatar ar dar samudao. Aganatar ar dar samudao. Hanji दूजी पंक्ति पढ़ दो. करो विपर्जय आपन स्वभाव. करो विपर्जय आपन स्वभाव. Bhai Sahib ji, Bhai Santokh Singh ji Maharaj writes here that you know the Agan fire. Sadh Sangat ji, until we sit in the Sangha and through Guru Padesh we learn how this creation is, we tend to miss. I don't want to even say 99% of it, because even 99% doesn't cut it. We don't even, it's so small the number of what we know that we can't even say it. Agan, the fire has become fearful. Now when you think that, we're thinking, what does that mean? What that means is the part of creation that is known as fire, per star system, like with this solar system here, the being that has been put in charge of fire is someone known as Agan Devta. Satguru ji, Granth Sahib ji talks about Agan Devta many times. So Agan Tar or Dar Samudao. Agan Devta, the fire itself. Remember Guru Ki Sangat ji, everything is Akal Purkh Vaheguru, even the fire. Even Chandu's, the Jyot inside Chandu is Akal Purkh Vaheguru ji's Jyot. But the individual beings that have been created with this Jyot inside them, they act independently. So Agan Devta has been given a duty to look after fire, control fire, be in charge of fire, combustion basically. Agan Devta sees Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj sitting in the Degha, and in his heart he becomes fearful. Why does he become fearful? He's thinking that it's like Guru Ki Sangat Ji, if we are at home and we are pharmacists And at home, we've got a whole load of drugs, all painkillers and everything. And then we see one of our parents or our children get that drug and they're about to take it. It's something you're in charge of and they're about to get harmed by it. Agam Devta's thinking, I'm in charge of fire. The fire is going to boil the water, which is going to pretty much, to an effect, cook Satguruji alive. Satguruji is the master. So in his heart, he becomes fearful, and what he does, biparjay, he switches the role of fire. Even though it can be seen and felt by everyone else, but in its transfer of heat to Guru Sahib Ji, there is no heat whatsoever. Now, we're probably wondering how can that happen. Last week I explained how Bhai Maharaj Ji in a Ubbalda Dega during the British Raj, ਉਹਨੇ ਦਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਇਹਦੀ ਬਾਂਹ ਏਦਾਂ ਫੇਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ. Now, whatever there is, whether it's animals, whether it's the elements, the way they have been programmed to function, they function like that, except for when they, in the capacity of dealing with Akal Purkh Waheguru, their beloved Bhagats, and where Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji ne aap rakhiya karni. And I'll explain this. If we go out of the Sikh religion, and again to Christianity, we all hear that Hazrat Isa, Jesus Christ, walked on water. Yeah, absolutely, he walked on water. So has many other people. There's people that are Ram Ram karde in the land of India, just working. They walked on water. Now, how can they walk on water and we can't walk on water? Sad Sangati, the Jeev inside us is what we are. The Atma inside us is what we actually are. But we're not this body. In between the body and the Atma, there's something called the Jeev, the spirit being. This spirit being, jal nahi doobe, taskar nahi leve, pae na sake jal. Fire can't burn it, water cannot drown it. When we go into water, we can sink, we can drown, we can die. But the reason water doesn't affect those people that have walked on it, they've gone past the stage of the body. They've gone past the stage of the body and reached the Atmic stage. In Hounslow West, there's a Gurdwara called Martindale Road Gurdwara. You all know it's the smaller Gurdwara, yes? ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਮਹਾਤਮਾ ਹੋਏ ਨਾ ਸੰਤ ਕੀ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਸੰਤ ਪੂਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਕਰੀਚੋਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ they were going from one ਪਿੰਡ to another ਪਿੰਡ one day ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਪਿੰਡ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਜਾਂਦੇ at that time there was barely any roads. They're going through the jungle area, and when it comes to Dopahar, midday, they wanted to eat some roti prashada. Their sevak was with them. ਉਹ ਸੇਵਕ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦੇ ਕੱਢੇ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਥੇ ਰੱਖੇ two ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦੇ I beg your pardon, sorry, ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੰਤ ਜੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਛਕਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਨਾ a lion came out of the ਝਾੜੀਆਂ out of the bush. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੇਵਕ ਸੀ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਹੀ so that's it, we're not reaching the next village, it's game over. ਉਹ ਡਰ ਗਿਆ. But what Santaji Maharaj did is tore the prasada in half, put their hand out, and the lion took the prasada from their hand and walked back. Then they looked at the Sevadar, they got, "Tu theek hai?" And the Sevadar's fear has gone into shock now. He said, Maharaj, aa ki hoya? What happened? He said, hona ki hai? Sher nu bhukh lagi sigi. Maharaj kende vand ke shakna. I tore my prasada in half and gave it to him. If we try doing that, sorry, not yourselves, if I try doing that, the share is probably going to take my arm off and then the rest of me afterwards. Why? Because I'm at the avastha of just a manamukh, really, as a manuk. Share will attack animals. We are animals too. But those people that have surpassed that avastha of just being a body and gone into the avastha of bhakti, animals don't attack them. Bhakt Prahlad, the fire didn't burn him. They chucked Bhakt Prahlad into a lake with a patthar tied around him. When the water settled, they look, and he's sitting at the bottom, ਅੱਖਾਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਮਾਧੀ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ. The water didn't drown him. So Guru Maharaj, when they sit in the Degha, even though the Deghas began to boil and the fire is raging underneath, the person who's been put in charge by Satguruji, Agan Devta, pulls his program away from the fire.
ਤੇਜ ਛੋੜ ਕਰ ਸੀਤਲ ਹੋਵਾ
Tej chor, the water, even though it's still boiling, this is the illusion. And the fire is burning bright, this is the illusion. It loses its stage, it loses its heat, and it becomes cool for who? For Guru Arjan Dev Ji, not for anybody else. The gods that are standing by, they can still feel the full heat coming from the fire. But for Guru Arjan Dev Ji, there is no heat coming whatsoever.
ਗੁਰ ਤਨ ਤਾਪ ਤਨਕ ਨਹਿ ਜੋਵਾ
Gur tan taap tanak neh jova. To Guru Ji Maharaj Ji Sarir, not even 1 degree has reached her.
ਏਤਕ ਕਾਲ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹੇ
Guru Maharaj Ji has sat in this Degha for some time now.
ਅੰਨ ਖਲ ਕਹਿ ਨਿਕਸਾਏ
Now Guru Maharaj Ji hasn't got tired of sitting in the Degha. Who's gotten tired? This Khal, this Murak, this fool Chandu. So what he says, pull Guru Arjan Dev Ji out. Why? If he just walks away, that goes to show me he's a weakling. So he's made Maharaj sit in the water for some time, boiling away. He hasn't seen Maharaj flinch. He wants to now go to his house. So he gives the order, pull Guruji out of the Degha.
ਕਯੋ ਸਗਨ ਨਿਜ ਮੁੱਢ ਮਤ
So this mood, this fool, he goes back to his house.
ਮਹਿਮਾ ਲਖੀ ਨ ਕਾਈ
Even now, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, after seeing Guru Arjan Dev Ji not eat or drink or even lay down for 4 days now, 3 days, I beg your pardon. Despite seeing that, despite seeing Maharaj sitting in a Degha full of boiling water, he's so blinded by his anger, he doesn't see one thing. What doesn't he see? This can't be normal. This can't be right. Surely this Guru must have Shakti in him. And if he would only visit that thought once, maybe he would have fallen at the feet of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. No, but he's so blinded by anger. Hence why we need to drop our anger as part of the 5 that Maharaj said is Jeevan de vichoo kaddo. He's so blinded by anger, he's not seen the greatness of Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji.
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਚੰਦੂ ਕੈ ਸੁਧ ਪਈ
In the house of Chandu, now by the 3rd day, maybe he's going back and boasting, maybe he's talking to his wife and people can overhear, maybe he's talking to his son and people can hear him. Now news has reached the house of Chandu
ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੋ ਦੁਖ ਦੇਤ
that he's torturing Tan Sadguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj.
ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਸੁਤਾ ਥੀ
Bhai Sahib Ji writes that in the house of Chandu, kise Sikh di Suta, there is the daughter of some Sikh in that house.
ਪਾਪੀ ਨੁਕਾ ਨਿਕੇਤ
Papi Nukhanaket, she is the daughter-in-law of this Chandu, meaning married to Chandu's son.
ਚੌਪਈ ਸੁਨ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਗ ਡਕਿਓ ਤਿਸਰਿਦਾ
Sun Prasang Dalkyo Tisarida, when she hears what's going on with Guru Arjan Dev Ji, obviously he's come back probably the first day and said, Guru ne kuch khada hi nahi. I've made him starve. Obviously he's not dressed up to make himself look big. Now he's saying, I've boiled Guruji. He probably hasn't told anyone that Maharaj hasn't flinched once. So whatever he's saying in his house, this has reached the ears of this daughter of some Sikh, that is the daughter-in-law now of Chandu, and her heart begins to hurt with pain.
ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਹਰ ਮਾਨ ਹੈ ਜਹ ਸਦਾ
She's saying that she's thinking to herself that this is the Guru that my parents worship and bow down to.
ਅਨੇਕ ਕਾਮਨਾ ਜਾਚਿਤ ਪਾਈ
Countless things my parents have wished for, and this Guru Maharaj has made them come true.
ਗੁਰ ਗੁਰ ਸਿਮਰਤ ਨਿਤ ਸੁਖਦਾਈ
Gur Simrat, by remembering their Guru, saying Vahe Guru, and remembering Guru Arjan Dev Ji, putting their dhyan at the lotus feet of Guru Arjan Dev Ji and doing Simran, they have received so much peace in their lives. She's on about her parents, not Chandu, but her parents.
ਸਸੁਰ ਪਾਤ ਕੀ ਤਹ ਦੁਖ ਦੇਤ
But my father-in-law is giving duk to this Guru.
ਕੋ ਅਗਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨੋ ਨਿਕੇਤ
And she's thinking, what paap must I have done to be married into such a papi's house? Sadh Sangat ji, remember when the three Upadesh that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj gave to Jahangir? Maharaj says never blame anybody else for what's going on in your life, but instead recognize what I sowed this with this hand, I am reaping with this hand and not this hand. Meaning, whatever I have done, it is me who is now receiving what I have done. So she, ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਮਾੜਾ ਕੀਤਾ by marrying me to this papi's house. She's saying ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਪਾਪ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, must have done something really sinful in my past life that I am the daughter-in-law of this papi's house. She's thinking there's been many, so 3 days have passed. Guruji hasn't even had a sip of water. No has Maharaj eaten, no has Maharaj rested at all. My life is accursed in this house. What am I doing in this house? So when she hears this, she just suffers in silence. She's not able to say anything to anyone. She just goes to a room and she cries and suffers in silence. Even though Chandu has said at home, I've told the guards, don't let anyone near here. No one is even allowed to come near the perimeter of my residence. But she can't control herself. She gets some mithiyai. She gets some water and she gets some bhojan, some food, and she goes out of the house. So she sneaked out the house and she's reached where the spies, where the guards are surrounding the area, the building where Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj is. She gets scared and she doesn't go near the guards. She sees the guards, dar jandi vichari. Hanji. She gently calls over one of the guards, come to me. Hanji. So, because she's obviously the daughter-in-law of such a well-to-do house, she's got plenty of jewelry. She's already thought of this. She takes some jewelry with her. As the guard comes over, she gives him her jewelry. She says, keep this to yourself. Keep the jewelry. Don't tell anyone. Hanji. She said, just for one moment, let me go to Guru Sahib Ji and you keep these jewels. The guard, as soon as he sees this jewelry, is probably worth more than that he gets in a year. He becomes greedy and he remains silent. And he says, look, go quickly, but make sure you return straight away. Make sure it's quickly so Chandu doesn't see you. She says, yeah, I'll make sure I come back quickly because I don't want my father-in-law to see me either. Otherwise, he'll boot me out the house. Soon as she enters the building where Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj is sitting. Sadh Sangat Ji, what Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj has done, when Agan Devta pulled the power from the fire, Maharaj didn't want to enter into another conversation with another Sikh, meaning Agan Devta, and explain that we're going to do how we're going to do what we're going to do. Maharaj thought let him do what he wants to do. Maharaj using their kala, their power, Maharaj caused boils to appear all over their body. The reason being why Maharaj, after giving Chandu the opportunity to back away, he didn't back away. Hon Maharaj ne ada nishcha pakka kar diya, that we will turn around and destroy him totally. So Maharaj didn't want him to think, how come Maharaj hasn't got any burn marks on their body? So Maharaj, using their kala, their shakti, their creative power, they cause boils to appear, burns to appear all over their body. And when she sees Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, ikdam she bursts out crying. Whilst crying, she puts her hands together. Rondi ne namaskar kiti. to Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj.
Shri Satguru Ji Pij hai pani.
And then she speaks whilst crying, saying, Hey Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, please, pani pilo. Maharaj, please drink some water.
Leho ahar ko kij hai khani.
Maharaj, also take some food and eat some food.
Papi ke sut so main wahi.
Maharaj, forgive me, but I have been married into this papi's household.
Hoti yogta aise nahi.
Maharaj, but I shouldn't have been married into his household. Why? Why is she saying that even though she said that I must have done something sinful? What she's trying to say is that me and my parents, ਅਸੀਂ Guru ke Sikh hain, Simran karan wale hain. I shouldn't have ended up here, but obviously due to some kind of path, I have ended up being married into this papi's household.
Karo paap ke aage ayav.
Whatever path I have done in my past life, it's now come before me.
Jis kar in ke sadan basayav.
The boon, the fruit, the reward of which I have been married into this puppy's house. So Guru ki Sangati, look, this Gudiya, this Guru ki Sikh, this Bachi, kise Sikh di Bachi, she has probably heard conversations in the house long before this as well, of how Chandu enforces his power over people and what he's done. He's done these kind of things many times before. So that's why she refers to him as a Papi.
Tumre Sikh ki suta pachano.
Hey Maharaj, please recognize me as the daughter of your Sikh.
Nij dasan lak karuna thano.
Please know me to be your own servant and be merciful upon me.
Ek Satguru Shri Mukte Pakha.
Dhan Satguru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj open up their lotus eyes and they look at this Bachi. Hanji.
Sad to he as pao de rakha.
Maharaj says, Bache shabash. Well done. That teri dekh, look at your bhavna. Even though you're in a well-to-do house, you didn't care for anything, not even your own safety, and you came out to bring water and food for us. You are the daughter of our pyara Gursikh. Tere bhavna nu shabash.
Je kar chahe apni kalyana.
Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj doesn't speak much with it. Maharaj says, look, if you want to Kalyan Choni Guru Ki Sangati, who is it here that doesn't want Kalyan, meaning salvation? Even though we may not know it, that's the whole reason we're sitting here. We Guru Maharaj Kirpa Karan and show us the way that we be pulled out of the chakra of birth and death. And that's what Maharaj ultimately gives to the Gursikh. That is what Maharaj is giving to this Bachi. Maharaj says, Jekar chahe apni kalyana. If you want Adi Kalyan Choni hai, if you want salvation, if you want to be liberated, if you want to be pulled out of this karma chakra,
Sang hamare tag ho prana.
then as your Guru, my upadesh to you is get ready to leave your body when we leave our body.
Jara kher hai Chandu keri.
Sadh Sangat Ji, we got 3 or 4 minutes left. We started at 8:05. Maharaj is telling this Guru ki Bachi to leave her body. Get ready to leave the body. This is some Gursikh's child. At the time of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, Guru ki Pyari Sangat Ji, when Maharaj was at Assam, the Sikh Sangat of Assam gave Maharaj a really beautiful Koda. And when they gave Maharaj this Koda, there was 2 chores that were following Guru Sahib Ji. When they saw the Koda, they thought, let's take the Koda and run when we get the opportunity. And when we get the Koda in our hand, we can sell it and make money. Jodo raat pay, both the chore came near where Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji ne aadhe asan laye hoye san. The one chore, when he sees Maharaj properly, he thinks, no, there's something not right here. I can't steal this from this divine being. He says to the other chore, main nahi chori karni, I'm going to go. Tu jo karna bhrawa kar. But I'm telling you, tu mera bhra hai, leave it. This other chore says, tu jana ja, if you want to go, go. Main to ghoda leke hi javanga aaj. What he does, when everyone late at night, ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ, he takes the horse and he bolts out of the area. As he's bolting out of the area, some Sikh his runs over to Guruji. Maharaj Satguru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji आदे मंजे साहिब ते आसन मार के बैठे सन, समाधि नहीं. Maharaj knows this Gursikh has come. Maharaj says, Sikha ki gall hai? Why have you come? Maharaj nu koi parwah nahi if the court has gone or not. What the Gursikh says is, Maharaj, jo Sikh Sangat ne thwanu prem vajo tohfa ditta si. What the present Gursikh Sangat had given to you through prem, some thief has taken it. Tan Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji Maharaj says, koi nahi sangat di cheez mure aayegi. Whatever the Sangat has given shall return. The horse thief, as he's going, वो अन्ना हो गया गुरु की संगत जी. When he's blind, he can't see where he's going. He calls the horse to stop. घोड़े उत्ते बैठा रहा. On the other side, Maharaj tells the Gursikhs, go in this direction and you find him at this spot. When they go, they find him exactly where he is. They tied him up and they brought the horse back. When he becomes before Guru Maharaj, he says to Guru Maharaj, he realizes with Guru di Shakti badi hai. I took the horse, menu anna kar ditta. What he says to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji Maharaj says, Maharaj, have mercy on me. Mite kirpa karo. Dhan Sat Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji Maharaj Antarjami Date, the master of the universe. Kande vi hai bhai, je tu adi kalyan chahna hai na, if you want to be saved, you'll get your eyesight back, get a rope and hang yourself. जिन्ने तेरे जन्मा दे पाप कीते कट देंगे. Maharaj has no care for this body, Guru ki sangat ji. Jehde Guru Maharaj di bani da paath karde hai, they end up having no care for this body either. Like the countless Shaheeds who gave their life, par dharm nahi hare. Maharaj says, if you want your kalyan, uthe drakht te aa, get a rassa, hang yourself. And Sad Sangat ji, this chor, tanya ho chor, tan, and I'd say, tell you why I say tan. Guru ka hukam manya. Guru da hukam man ke he got a rasa and he hung himself. My head is on the feet of that chor. Guru ne ek hukam kita, hukam man ke one de kalyan prapat hogi. Je chor di Guru Maharaj, to a chor Maharaj can give instruction. Phaha leke mar ja teri kalyan ho jagi. तो फिर जी गुरु की सिख आ ओदी कल्याण किद्दां ना होएगी. Maharaj says, Bacha, if you want your kalyan, that you feel that your pap was so great he brought you into the house of this papi, who knows what other karms you've done where they will take you. Je tu kalyan choni ya, get ready to abandon your body. At the same time, we abandon our body. Sad Sangat ji ਇੱਥੇ ਵਿਸਰਾਮ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ. Maharaj says, because these that are going to get left behind when you abandon your body, they are all destined to go to hell, meaning Chandu, his wife, and his son. So Guru Patsha Maharaj ne ene bachan kite, ਇੱਥੇ ਵਿਸਰਾਮ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਆਏ ਹੋ, and you've been coming for the last 5 weeks now and listening to the unparalleled Shaheedi prasang of Dhan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. Come again next week. I know on the poster we said it would run only for 5 weeks. This prasang will run for at least another 2, possibly 3 weeks. Aidha prem de naal auna, Guru di katha sun ke laha lena, ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਖਿਮਾ ਬਖਸ਼ਣੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ. Let us all join prem de naal, like the prem this bachi hasu Guru Sahib Ji, and join in Gurfateh to Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.